Suspects in custody. Nobody is to come in the perimeter. It's still a hot scene.
It ended with applause. And a tweet. The week from hell in Boston. The awful, sad, surreal events playing out like a multimedia horror show, starring terrorism and technology. Who could have imagined a major American city locked down? This, in an ordinary suburb like Watertown, Massachusetts. But who could have imagined that the Tsarnaev brothers would be picked out of so many thousands, tens of thousands of pictures, and identified so fast, names supplied to faces by State Department computers? Is this set of events a game changer?
It's the latest game changer.
Bill Bratton has been Boston's police commissioner, New York's, and chief of police in Los Angeles.
The game changer here is that the big data era, the social media era, all aspects of that new world that was non-existent even on 9/11, all of that came into play during this event.
What time did you hear about the Boston Marathon bombings on Monday?
Whoa! Something just blew up! Run!
When did you start seeing the images of the explosions that were played back over and over? The man in the orange jersey falling. Horribly injured people being raced away. The face of Martin Richard, the 8-year-old boy who was killed. It was in the anguish and confusion of the aftermath that we began to see the impact of the internet and social media, for better and for worse, on a story of this magnitude. Tweets became the new public service announcements. When photographs of the Tsarnaev brothers were released and the public was asked for help identifying them,
the nation is counting on those with information to come forward and provide it to us.
300,000 people a minute went to the FBI website.
Social media instantly shared those photos hundreds of thousands of times. They amplified a very important message from the FBI. Fortunately, they also amplified a lot of unimportant and misguided messages from other sources.
John Herman is tech editor at BuzzFeed.com, a leading social news site.
It was a very messy, noisy, and at times worrying process.
Some sites found themselves posting apologies, but not before damaging misidentifications went viral and were picked up by mainstream media. Dzhokhar Tsarnaev tweeted this last month: "See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, until the morning alarm goes off and all hell unleashes." Last Monday, hours after the bombings, he wrote, "Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Stay safe, people." In retrospect, chilling. His Twitter account now the subject of intense scrutiny.
What we're beginning to find is a portrait of someone who seems to have more in common with our ideas of what a school shooter would look like, or what a troubled teenager would look like.
The older Tsarnaev brother, Tamerlan, was quoted as saying, "I don't have a single American friend. I don't understand them."
I mean, the pattern that we're seeing with these two young Boston bombers is a pattern we've seen with many radicals in Europe, where you see immigrants from Muslim countries who are imperfectly assimilated into European society.
Max Boot is a senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations in New York.
They blend in to some extent, but at the same time, internally, they withdraw from the mainstream of society and embrace this radical extremist vision. And the only warning you have can be when the bomb actually goes off, as it did in Boston. I think that is, in some ways, the worst nightmare.
Boot sees the Boston Marathon bombings as a blueprint for future terrorism and a wake-up call for cities convinced it can't happen to them.
I think the Boston bombing will shake some of that complacency and make lots of other cities around the country realize they could be in the crosshairs too.
But in Boston, a lot of things went right. Dzhokhar Tsarnaev was caught, alive. For that, Boston celebrated.
We are one. We are Boston. We are strong. We are Boston strong.
Yes, the resolve is there. But the damage is done. The sorrow and pain and loss are real. If only we could back up the video, turn back time a week to the sunny start of the race and run it again with a different outcome.